Oh, let's see. Greetings and happy, happy New Year. Happy 2021 from Bloom from Within Love, from my heart, from me, Bloomy. And I hope that you all had a safe, healthy, and hopefully restful bringing in the new year. Okay. And so today I just wanted to come on and do a reading for you guys inspired by um, actually a message that I was receiving for myself in the last couple of days. And then it was actually confirmed. It was confirmed as I was listening to something today, just going about my day. I had came from one of my favorite Reiki centers and gotten this treatment called, well, you sit on like this amethyst um, infrared bed mat. OMG, that's all I'm gonna say. Ooh, I needed that cleansing, that detox, that relaxation. It was very, 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 very therapeutic. It was much needed in my case. But anyway, not to get too sidetracked here. The message. So, as for the message, I don't know if any of you, by the time you guys come on, if any of you will be able to see what this whole theme is about. So the title says neutrality, disengage, neutrality, disengage with unnecessary conflict. Okay, read the description and get into that. That's going to give you the heartbeat of what's going on, the messages that are coming through for you guys. Okay, so neutrality, disengage. This is going to be vital for many of us. Okay, at the very beginning of 2021, because there are great things that are right here at the horizon for us, many. Oftentimes, though, there is like this middle, I don't want to say middle part, but how do you say? I want to use my words carefully, but at the same time, I want to bring it true to life. It's like when you're climbing a mountain, or those that are into that, sports enthused, Mount Everest and all of that kind of thing, it's like, okay, yeah, you're going to have to, you want that ultimate, but yeah, you're going to have to go through all whatever that is, right? To get there. So sometimes there's like these last little things that may present themselves out of the blue, okay? And it's a distraction, actually. It's a distraction to get us to shift our focus, or to get us to second guess ourselves, or to eat, dare I say it, to simply just drain our energy if we permit. Because I do want to say that we have to permit, we have to engage, we have to kind of continue to go down that rabbit hole and then not manage our own energy. That's the only way that's going to be successful. Okay. So this reading is going to bring out, first of all, just messages for us to empower us to, first of all, take back your power, release the conflicts. Now, let me tell you, conflict can be internal or external or both. Sometimes it's just simply our internal world just going, blah, 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 blah. And other times, our internal world has manifested something on the external, showing up in a way of agitators. Okay. So now take this as it resonates and with wisdom. I always add that with my readings. Okay. Because only you know, your higher self ultimately knows what the difference is between what some people would say is healthy conflict or petty shit. I'm just going to call it. But that's for you to determine. And oftentimes we've lived in a world where everyone is trying to have their say and influence and tell us what healthy is. And usually, if we're honest and we look at it, it's people who want to benefit from us receiving whatever it is they're trying to spoon us, right? Instead of healthy, now again, healthy interaction, healthy growth, all of that stuff. That's a part of everyone's life. But I'm going to always say this to you guys. Okay, a lot of what we've been conditioned to believe, even in the realm of behavioral health, psychology, all of that stuff, some of it is, it's bent. It has a spin. Okay. So us coming back to our own resonance and being empowered, knowing what sits right. And yes, I know we have to go through healing. Yes, I understand there's a process to that and we're triggered and yada, yada. So this is for those of us that realize the difference and now can see when it's just been people operating or behaving and conducting in ways that are infringing upon you, that are based on their inner wounding and their own belief systems and programs or whatever. Has nothing to do with your path or your personal growth, because at the end of the day, and I'm going to say this again, and I will say this forever, no one, and I mean no one, has the right to project upon you or enforce upon you, okay, a way of feeling, thinking, and believing, or even conducting. Take that with a grain of salt. I'm not talking about some common sense stuff like, okay, we don't want to go outside and shoot people because we felt like it. So please, y'all, have some dang on sense with what I'm saying. Okay. But I'm talking about stuff in the professional arena, friendships, relationships, where people are out of bounds. They're out of bounds. They're taking it upon themselves. They gave themselves the title and position based on their belief systems, mind you, that it is their business and job to yada, yada, yada. Okay. That's what I mean by that. All right. All right. So now, without any further ado, get nice and cozy. I'm actually going to spray some Florida water that I purchased, and I added some crystals to it, some morganite. So I'm going to clear my energy afresh. All right. And on your behalf, just releasing the day, releasing unnecessary conflict, unnecessary, releasing it, disengaging all directions of time and space, releasing, letting go, whatever traps, attempts to get us to get caught up, releasing the story, all of it, all of it, all of it, letting it go. Coming into neutrality, raising our vibration into our higher heart. Grounding, buffering our energy fields there. All right. So let's get some overall messages. I got a few treats here tonight. Okay, for the collective, overall energy. Messages to assist with neutrality, disengaging with unnecessary conflict, fights, whether this is internal or external. What do the collective need to see from the Awake Inner Wisdom deck? All right. Can get one card. Neutralizing, disengaging, unnecessary conflict. The collective. In accordance with our higher heart, higher wisdom, compassion, benevolence. Mm-hmm. One card. Come on. There we go. This came up again. Are you kidding me? From a whole nother deck? Oh, sweet. Okay. All right. Merkabah at the bottom. Dance. So we got dance again. I think dance that came up. I want to say, was it last? When was it? Not last week, because I think last week I did something. I can't remember, but it wasn't that long ago. All right. From Cat Wisdom for the collective. Messages for neutrality. Disengaging unnecessary conflict, whether it is internal or external, in accordance with our higher heart, our higher wisdom, benevolence, compassion, in the now, and all of these things. What do we need to hear? What do we need to see from Cat Wisdom? Please and thank you. One card, please. Speak your truth. Yup. It's at the bottom of this one. Proceed with care. Okay. Interesting. All right. From the Crazy Sexy Love Notes for the collective. Neutrality, disengaging, unnecessary conflicts, whether it is internal or external. In this now and always, in accordance with our higher heart, higher wisdom, benevolence, compassion. Ooh, dang it. I feel like some of the messages that are coming through is kind of is stemming from the last video that I did when I actually came on camera, very briefly. Let's see. I think that's, when did I do that? Last week, maybe? All right, so we get one card. Neutrality, disengaging, unnecessary conflict. What do we need to see? What do we, oh, okay. There's two, so should I take them both? Let's see. It's time to rise. I'll take this one. Okay. That one was on top, so I'll take it. And then at the bottom, oh, forgiveness. Forgiveness heals. Okay. Ooh-wee. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get into the messages. Just hold on. I like to get all of most of the oracles out before I start like talking, just so I can get a clear understanding first. So give me un momento, por favor. Let's see here. The collective, neutrality, disengaging, unnecessary conflict, whether it's internal or external, in accordance with our highest heart, our highest wisdom, in this now and always, all the rest of time, in accordance with benevolence and compassion. Let's go yellow again. Now I see. Interesting. Whew, all right. One card for the collective, please. Neutrality, disengaging. What do we need to hear? What do we need to see? What do we need to hear? What do we need to see? What would assist us with our energy from Practice You Daily Awakening? Oh, there we go. Oh, that's good. Got a feeling about that. The divine feminine and masculine, balancing that. How will the polarities live in you today? Okay. At the bottom, we got this is my prayer to stay conscious when I forget to trust. Whew, this is getting good already. All right, you guys. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. At first, I was going to try to like speed through this in the name of trying to be faster for a change, but I'm not. I'm just going to, for right now, I'm just going to roll with it, whatever that means. Cut that one. Hold on. Okay. So I'm looking at, give me a second, guys. Okay. Hmm. No rhyme or reason here. Mhm. Bear with me. It's something that, because one of the decks that I have here out, one of the oracles I don't really use. And I do read intuitively, but I'm curious as to what the dance card says with this one. Just in case there's like a special message. Okay, I found it. All right, so and then I got the computer at a different angle. I was trying something different, but I'm starting to feel like it's awkward. um, all right, first card out was dance. And what I feel like is dealing with dancing through polarity or through contrast, through the changes that feel so polarizing or vastly different. So for an example, it's neutrality, disengage with the conflict. This conflict can feel polarizing because on one hand, you may feel like, okay, I'm expanding, I'm growing, I can sense and feel this shift, I can sense and feel these blessings, I can sense and feel all of this. Yet, I also feel the heaviness or the extreme opposite, if you will, still lugging around or still in my existence or still in my reality. And what I feel like this card is saying is like, okay, yes, there's major contrast with this black and white. There's a lot of stuff going on here in this picture, but that it's pointing at dancing through it. But let's see what the book says about that. It says, mirrors of the soul are found in a water dance with one another. Now, I don't know. This may resonate with some of you, though. Hold on. Oh, okay. I get it. Okay. So, okay. So, what I'm picking up is alchemy again. When did I get that message before? It's alchemizing your own polarity. Now, let me explain. Maybe it's hidden shadow aspects of you, or how do you say? Let me give an example to make it make more clear sense. Let's say for most of your life that, like I put in the description box, like let's say uh, before either you always ran from this kind of stuff, or maybe you dealt with it, but maybe you dealt with it in a way that wasn't true to your higher heart, or that was maybe not in alignment with the most loving way within yourself, or maybe it was just a defense mechanism versus the honoring of who you really are. And I'm saying this for a reason because it says speak your truth. I have another card on the deck that says speak your truth. So mirroring is like oh, wow, alchemizing. Ooh, and then the feminine and masculine is here. Ooh, yeah, buddy. The feminine and masculine within us. Okay. And alchemizing these parts of us that maybe before we were not quite ready to to deal with, and that's all okay. So if you've always either overreacted or underreacted, or just simply just kept running, or staying in something. So I don't feel like this is about avoidance nor over aggression. I feel like it's about balance and standing ground, but it's alchemizing the parts of us or you that was maybe bruised in this area. It depends on how this resonates for you. Maybe you felt like you couldn't handle this kind of stuff before and you was like, it ain't worth it. Or maybe you kind of have a more bullying energy because some people have a more heavy in the masculine aggressive. And so they kind of bulldoze their way around all the time in an unhealthy way, or the passivity side, which is softer, is the more feminine aspect, but you're not dealing with the issue. So I believe that the dance is kind of saying like evaluate, observe, and I'm gonna tell you guys why in a minute. Like be a conscious observer of it before responding, because it's just an aspect of something maybe you once upon a time was afraid of, thinking that was going to overtake you, thinking that, what I'm saying, either have more power over you, when in essence it doesn't. Okay. So dancing, and then in some cases it's physical dance, like in a very simplistic sense, just dance, because through our body, it's a form of expression. It's a form of shaking energy off, because let's just be honest here. Not everything can be said sometimes directly when other people are involved. I'll say it that way. We do need to speak our truth. We need to discern that. And this is why I said conscious observer. So right? Very powerful already. Wow. Because the next card out is speak your truth. As I said, hold on one second. But before I get to speak your truth, at the bottom of that same deck, we have Merkaba. Let me show you guys that. And I don't know if you guys know what that is. The sacred geometry here, the Merkaba. The inherent quality of your soul is light. Oh my God. Whew. Many of you are already activated in this way. You've already activated your Merkaba. Let me see. Oh my God, I need some glasses, y'all. Hold on. Okay, because I can't hardly see. So it says here, the connection points of the self. You are a vortex of brilliant light love that is currently manifested in a human body. This does not limit you to only linear physical experiences on the earth plane. However, you can awaken different dimensions of the self and travel in your interdimensional field of light through transdimensional meditation, astral travel, and intention setting. Remembering that this is a multidimensional, expansive journey will help the daily grind seem so much more manageable. Don't be downtrodden by the little things that ink you. Oh, that irk you. See? Oh, now I see why I got this. Don't be downtrodden by the little things that irk you, for they exist as teachers. I was just saying that. Remain strong in the power of light. Wee. Okay. Yes, indeed. Okay, so that just kind of is a confirmation to that dance there. Now, as I mentioned, the next card out was speak your truth, baby. Speak it. Woohoo! But I caution this because every time a card like this come out or we say something like this, some people can jump to conclusion and go, well, I'm supposed to go around speaking my truth. I'm supposed to go around saying whatever I want to say. And my answer to that is yes and no, because you ultimately have the right to express yourself. Yes and no. In accordance with your higher heart and wisdom, because in essence, when we're operating from the higher heart, higher wisdom, our evolved version of us, God, however you want to call it, the upgraded us, the light body us, does not, it's not ego based. It's not driven by ego. It's not driven by the primitive mind. So it's not seeking vengeance. It's not screaming. It's not demanding. That's ego. Okay. The higher version of us seeks, it only is, and it's love. It has no intent of hurting self or others. So even if it's speaking truth, it came from the right place, and it's selective, it's discerning, because in essence it knows, like, is this going to ultimately produce the purpose in which I'm speaking? Because if not, then it's better to remain silent, because I can speak my truth in various ways. I don't have to speak my truth directly to individuals that it may end up doing more damage than good. And I want to also add a disclaimer here. Another one, this is free. Well, it's all free. But I want to just go ahead and add this, all right? And please take this with delicacy, because it's certainly where I'm coming from. Let me give an example. Let's say you knew how to speak Japanese. And let's say you were talking to a friend, a family member, a lover, a coworker, a customer, however you want to equate this, okay? And let's say you spoke Japanese and you were fluent in Japanese. And let's say that for the thing in which you were trying to communicate, Japanese was the only and best way to communicate this particular thing. But let's say the receiving person, let's say they did not understand Japanese and could not understand Japanese, at least not at that given moment. If you were to sit down and try to have a conversation with that individual on that given topic in that Japanese, what is going to happen is this: nothing. Miscommunication. Nobody understands. The person is confused, bewilderment, possibly conflict, depending. And I'm trying to equate it in a sense to people's conscious awareness, conscious evolving or development, emotional intelligence, even. Hear me out. Emotional intelligence. Not everybody, I got to say this delicately. We assume a lot of things based on appearance, based on externalized realities. They have money, they have a job, they have this, they have that. So that means this. Not so. Aaron Doughty always says things like this: people conduct and behave based on the level of consciousness in which they have. He said this is how he began the journey of forgiving his narcissistic stepmom and, past with dealing with narcissistic dynamic and abuse. So sometimes you guys wonder where I'm going with this. In cases like this, There is no such having a conversation that can have a healthy resolve. So speaking your truth, it's almost like it will not penetrate, or worse yet, be misconstrued, twisted, fragmented, and used against you. It's like an adult trying to talk to a 10-year-old about something way too sophisticated. I hate to say it in that way, but did you really expect them to kind of get it? No. I don't mean it to be demeaning. That's not where I'm coming from. But I'm trying to bring a point that a lot of that turns out to be a waste of time and energy because you go round for round. And what you'll come to realize is this: you've expended time and energy, but nothing has been accomplished. There hasn't been a healthy exchange. So speaking the truth first needs to come back to us speaking our truth to us, and then other outlets of speaking the truth. And then when duty calls, when your higher heart and self calls us to, in some cases, we do need to actually speak that truth to the individual, whether it be a boss, a lover, a friend, a family member. In some cases, we don't have a choice but to. It calls for it. But it's better done after we've observed it, kind of neutralize some things, grounded and balanced and approached, if possible, right? Now, in the back of it, it says each of us has our own truth. Feel free to sing your song and stand firm in what is true for you. That's basically what I was saying. What is true for you? What is true for you? Don't be afraid to voice it. You don't need everyone to agree with you. Swallow this. You don't need everyone to agree with you. Woo! But it can be very rewarding to express your truth and be heard by those near and dear to you. And in some cases, like I was just mentioning, in some cases, if it's healthy, and only you're going to know this, if it's healthy, if it doesn't end in a merry-go-round circus parade of bullshit, okay? Of he said, she said shit, okay? Only you know this because now it's no longer productive. You got to gauge. And once you've determined this, then you have to find another outlet of speaking your truth and then recreate or reform the dynamic, whether it is healthy boundaries, walking away from things or people. But you know what I'm saying? Only you can determine this. Only we can determine this, right? Beautiful. And at the bottom of that deck, it says proceed with care. And what I'm picking up with this, strategic, like a cat. Least suspecting. Look how innocent this cat looks. Look how cutesy and cuddly. And he is, or she is, but very smart because it's aware of its surroundings. So proceed with care. And what I'm taking of that is saying, like, don't be fast and loose. Basically, what the message has been is like, it's important to take steps back, take breathers, be a conscious observer. Integrate these parts of you, these parts of us first, because they're aspects. And then if duty calls, approach And then in some cases, ain't going to be nothing to do. Because in some cases, like the title says, neutrality, disengage, in some cases, as we simply do this, a lot of this stuff is going to fall away. Because the whole intent of it was to simply get us frazzled, get us wound up, chasing shit all over the place, scattery, caught up in foolishness, you know what I'm saying, feeding our heads with shit, you know what I'm saying? As we just simply disengage. And some of you may say, but how? In some cases, how do you when you're in, whether it's your home life or your work life? In some cases, you're like, well, how? You can't get away from everybody. How do you disengage? And with this, I really recommend, first of all, going within ourselves and asking our higher wisdom, how can I disengage when this is happening? When it's happening? What is the most smooth, natural, organic way I can do this? That's the best way to go about that. And just flow with it because it may be something very subtle. It may be simply, and listen, hear me out. If it means, oh, I got to go to the bathroom. If every time somebody's come to your area with some foolishness, I got to go to the bathroom until people start catching a clue that basically you don't want no part of it. I'm just giving that as an example. Sometimes creative ways, like, okay, every time as soon as it started to go on some foolishness, gotta go to the bathroom. Excuse me, going to the bathroom. Or fake phone calls. Oh, got a phone call. Because I mean, let's face it, in reality, sometimes we're in environments that, we're working, we got people around us, we're dealing with customers, we're dealing with clients or whatever, and you can't really get into no deep, excuse me, I would rather not, you know what I'm saying? Maybe at a later time, but in the now moments when these things are happening and you just don't want to be bothered. If it permits, you got to go to the bathroom. So basically, you ain't got to call nobody out. We ain't got to, what I'm saying, be slamming somebody and say, gosh, do you have to gossip all day? God dang, man, this is killing me. We don't have to. We can let that, because that's a judgment. We can let that go. But we can also say, I don't really want to engage because they're not going to leave me alone. They ain't going to stop coming over here bothering me. And then when opportunity permits, maybe one day walking in the office saying, hey, just give everybody a heads up. I'm all about that positivity today. I'm not talking or engaging in nothing that's gonna make me feel low, and see what happens. I'm gonna try all this stuff on myself since the messages are coming. Woo! Oh, who's here? Lorenzo. Hey, I didn't even see you. I don't know if you're still here. Hey, Lorenzo. Because I can't really see the screen, so I can't see when people come on and stuff. But so yeah, okay. Like, yeah, be strategic, all right? And it says you're moving in the right direction, but it would be wise to proceed with care. Consider each step carefully and avoid making impulsive decisions. Yes, that's what I was saying. Decisive, all right? Next card out. Wait, hold on, my bad. Hold up. Yep, next card we got it's time to shine. It's time to shine. So, whew, this is why neutrality, disengaging from the negativity, is like imperative for us because it is time to shine and it's hard. Listen, I'm speaking acquired to myself. It's challenging to shine or to rise up when you're bogged down by excess unnecessary conflict. It's time to rise. Okay, on the back it says, no matter what's happening in our lives, we always have the potential to rise above it. It's time to rise above it. Rising is one powerful choice away. Rise out of our negative thoughts, oh my God, or our limited beliefs, believing that we got to stay engaged in foolishness. Okay, rise out of our comfort zones, even, or our complaints. Oh, good God, I can't make this up, y'all. Rise out of our slump or out of the potato chip bag. Get up and rise. What are you waiting for, darling? Rise. So, in other words, we ain't stuck, baby. We ain't stuck. We ain't gotta go along with the status quo. We don't have to go along with the humdrums of this is how it's always, oh, this is how it's always been. Just because everybody else on the freaking planet, or you know, I'm trying to say, like, we don't have to. Oh my God, this is a good message for me too. Glory. Okay, we don't have to. We can dare to be different. If it means we're looked at strangely, well, then, well, to hell with it. I'm taking this one home. We don't have to complain about everything just so we can be a part of the group. We ain't gotta, you know what I'm saying, sit up and listen to stuff that we feel like vexes us just so we don't look odd. We don't have to. Oh my God. We don't have to stay in something that has ran its course. We don't have to stay in anything, anywhere, any situation, any scenario that feels more like death than life if we don't want to. We can dare to be different than the conditioning of the culture and of society that says, you better say this. Are you crazy? You know, no, no, I dare to be different. It's time to rise. At the bottom, it says, oh, forgiveness heals. Oh, yes, Lord. Um, Starting with us. What I'm picking up with this is a lot of us may feel like there's a lot of chaotic energy. And a lot of us may feel like we've made a lot of mistakes, or, you know, we wonder why we put ourselves in certain situations. And we look up and go, oh, I shouldn't. I really wish that I had not. And you fill in the blanks, right? Had not taken that job, had not, you know, started this relationship, had not, you know, started talking back to so and so, had not engaged in this and that and this and that. All right. Or it can also be forgiving someone else. Like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, yeah. And hear me out. Forgiveness is has nothing to do with allowing people a place or something, a place in our lives that is no longer fitting. That's not what that's about. It's just about releasing the offense, feeling it, healing it, releasing the offense, right? And that's the process. So it says here, forgive yourself and others. Let it go. Ooh, ooh, let it go. Let go of the old story. Release any guilt and any blame. And that's for self and anybody. So we can acknowledge all that we feel like we're in with the intent of releasing this story, the attachment, the blame, the guilt. Everyone is doing the best they can. And believe it or not, it's true. That's what I was talking about when I said Aaron Doughty always says everyone is operating from the level of consciousness in which they have arrived. Age ain't got nothing to do with it. Culture ain't got nothing to do with it. Background don't have nothing to do with it. You can be 75 and sleep locked into the matrix, dead in it. That has nothing to do with it. Status, clout has nothing to do with it. Money has nothing to do with it. It doesn't mean you have emotional intelligence. You can be stunted. You can be 75 yet 15 in your emotions because of something that happened to you that never got properly dealt with. And if you're consciously asleep and all your chakras are shut down, you're in the human default setting. Shut down is flight, fright, or freeze mode. That's our primitive nature. And when we're governed by that, maturity is very low. And we perceive things as threats. And if you perceive something or someone as a threat, in your primitive nature, is going to cause you to behave and conduct in ways on a subconscious level, whether you're aware of it or not. Now, for us, those of us who are on this path, doing this inner journey, inner work, hear me out, energetic work, awakening that chakra system, balancing and aligning these chakra systems, dealing with that, it's important. Dealing with your auric field, it's important. Elevating your consciousness, that's important. Grounding into Gaia, that's extremely important. But as we're doing this is for us. Releasing it. Everybody's doing the best they can. This is not so we can take pity on people. This is not so we can keep putting up with people's bullshit. All of us have flaws. All of us have areas of development, even us. It's to help us to just shift focus, kickstart healing, surrendering, letting go of the judgment, letting go of the hurt, our health and happiness. So our health and happiness is connected to all of this. But it has to start with what the title says, neutrality, disengage. We got to disengage with unnecessary stuff because we will feel weighted down. We will. Oh God, I could attest to this. We will. And forgiving ourselves for even allowing that. Like, man, I should have been up on it. It's okay. We're human. Make our adjustments, do what we got to do, right? And keep it pushing. Next card, we got how will the polarities live in you today? Balancing our yin and yang. Heart energy, the divine feminine and the divine masculine live together in me. How will we balance this? How will we honor these polarities? And I think one of the first steps that's coming through is the first step in this is first giving yourself a space and place every single day to connect to your heart and take some breaths. And when throughout the day, setting that intention to be balanced in your yin and yang, and when throughout the day you find these challenges, saying within and setting these intentions, how can I? My intention is to honor the divine feminine and masculine within me. My intention is to integrate the divine masculine and feminine within me. How can I honor it in my life? How can I honor it? How can I support these polarities in me and in my life? How can I balance this practically? And sometimes the answer is very simple because sometimes it's simply doing nothing. Because we have nothing to prove. I can't remember the exact quote or who said it, but there's this saying that says, fear and ego is very loud. Fear and ego, very loud, very boisterous. Our higher heart already knows that there's nothing to prove. There's nothing to prove. We can stand strong in our truth and what we stand for and what we mean and what we believe and whatever that means without making a ruckus, without getting into battles with people. Because sometimes all of that was just simply to mess with our energy, get us all focused, get us to lower our vibration by engaging. Hmm. At the bottom of that deck, it says, "This is my prayer to stay conscious when I forget to trust." And so basically, what I just said, when we forget, our prayer is to be balanced in our own energy. Our prayer is to stay within the essence of our higher heart, to remain in neutrality. That's what just came. To stay in our own energy field, to remain in neutrality, to stay in our higher heart when we forget to trust, when all this stuff is stirring up, to breathe. Wow, this is kind of deep. Woo! All right, so, mm, mm, okay. So now we got through the oracles. I know that was long, but whew, we have like 8 oracles here. So give me one second. Man, ooh wee, this is good. Again, if anybody is on, I'm sorry if I can't really see. I got to figure out a way that I can like be able to see better than I do. Because most of the time, I don't even know who on, who ain't on. All right, so now I'm going to ask Tarot. Currently, what energy the collective? I'm going to pull one card from one deck and then a clarifier card. Okay. I'm going to ask Tarot, what is your guys's or our overall energy? What current energy are we holding in this whole process of what the theme is of um, neutrality and disengaging from unnecessary conflict? So as it relates to this message, What energy are we currently holding? Where are we currently at? And then I'll pull a clarifier. And then at the end, I'm going to get a goddess or God affirmation, however we want to take that, to send us home with. Okay. All right, let's do it. Collective, please. What energy as it relates to this reading, the title? What energy are we currently holding as it relates to neutrality and disengaging from unnecessary conflicts, whether it is internal or external or both? The overall energy currently holding as it relates to this reading, these oracle readings. All right, let's see her. One card, please. Overall energy for the collective. Current energy. Huh. Well, I'm going to take it. Two major arcanas came out. Death and the Hierophant. Okay. That's good. I'm actually glad to see that. Ooh, and at the bottom, the devil. It's not what you guys think, but I know what this is about. Ooh, so it's some overcoming stuff. This is some deep, yeah, yeah, some major transformative, um, ooh, yeah, buddy. All right, let me get to the clarifier. These are all major arcana cards. Interesting. Let's get some clarifiers, confirmations to support the death card and the Hierophant as the overall energy that collective is holding currently as it relates to this reading of neutrality and disengaging from unnecessary conflicts. Ooh-wee. Yes, indeed. I'm liking this here. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Mm-hmm. Overcoming mega toxicity. Mega. Because that's the devil card at the bottom. It doesn't always mean that. In tarot, the devil actually represents the earth plane. It represents zodiac Capricorn, ruler of the earth plane, by the way, Capricorn. But in this reading, how it showed up is letting me know that there is some major overcoming, some heavy, long-held toxicity in this area as it relates to this reading. Toxicity, codependency, patterns, akashic in nature and ancestral in nature, probably. In some cases, childhood. All right. All right. Can we get clarifier? Oh, okay, that one came out. Okay. Well, ooh, another major. Woo, good God. Justice baby is on the deck. Clarifier, give me one more. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm excited. Yes, okay, clarifier, Hierophant, baby. Woo-wee. Let's get it. Clarify this Hierophant. Death is clarified by justice. It's time. Clarify the Hierophant. This transformation is time for this. The Hierophant. Ooh, we bringing back balance. Ooh, what the name of? Well, let's see. Jesus, that one flew. Okay, all majors. Okay, let's reverse. So death clarified by the tower. Hierophant clarified by justice. Ooh wee. Hold on, y'all. Ooh, bless. Okay, bless. Okay, so then we hold on. The Four of Pentacles is at the bottom here. Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. Holding back. Holding back. Holding on. So this is probably opposite. Letting go. Okay. All right. So the overall energy. Let me get started. That collective, as it relates to this reading, is, let's see, death and the Hierophant. Death and rebirth. So some, lifetimes probably. But as it relates to neutrality and disengaging, staying on topic here, unnecessary conflict. This kind of a cycle, this type of a pattern of being constantly drug into being swung from one extreme to the next with the fighting and conflicts, emotions, one thing and another, negativity of others, being drugged or feeling that way or affected, that's dying. That's because this is a major energy. That's being put to rest finally. Finally. Take this how it resonates in whatever area it resonates. But good God, thank you. Finally, realizing that you ain't gotta be drug and led all over the place. And I say that because the Hierophant came right after it. Hierophant is all about the school of learning and teaching and growing and belief systems and ascending, especially in this deck, particularly the light seers. Ascending your consciousness. Look at, as it said, rising above. And he's looking kind of happy. So many of you are realizing that in your meditation, this is how you neutralize a lot. Many of you are coming to this conclusion. Oh, it's in my meditation. It's in my energy work. This is how I'm going to disintegrate a lot of this stuff. And this is how I'm going to ascend and rise above a lot of the foolishness. As simple as it looks. Because this is where I get grounded. And this is where I come back into my own center. Right? So as they came out together. So with that death and rebirth, a new way of handling it, a new way of seeing it, a new way of approaching it. Okay. This is how you're finding now you can attain neutrality. Maybe as were before, you didn't feel so much. And the clarifiers that came out was tower and justice. So a tower barked the death. A tower or tower moments barked the death and rebirth. And so there were probably many things happening that made everything feel like everything was crumbling. It was too much, whether it be, everything that took place in 2020, whether it be home responsibilities, relationships, or a combination of all of it. You trying to jump through hoops and pleasing everybody, realizing that, you know what, it just fucking can't be done. At the end of the day, you coming to realize that, hell, this shit still, it still came on rumbling down, right? Realizing that ain't the ticket. The ticket was honoring of the self. And I say that because justice came out. Things coming back to balance, fairness, justice, baby. Where there's been things that were not right, where things were not fair, where things were not equal, where things we're not balanced in your life as it relates to this. Constant conflicts, nitpicking, people nosy, people controlling, people blah, 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 blah. Right? And realizing, that the justice is another major energy. And it came out. So it's like, okay, the tower came, but that was actually justice helping us to realize, like, no, 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 no. We could let go of unnecessary conflict. And I say that because at the bottom of that deck, we got the Four of Pentacles. We don't have to hold on to anything. We actually have the power. We don't have to hold on to nothing out of fear anymore. Or, you know what I'm saying? We don't have to engage out of fear, I should say, because it's as it relates to this reading. We ain't got to engage with stuff if it's causing unnecessary conflict, just so we can have something. It's 15 cents. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to. Now, please take this carefully and as it resonates. Or as it really represents holding back. We don't have to hold back. We can speak our truths, live our truths, and not fear losing out. Not fear. If we lose something, we can give it a new meaning. Because if it's something lost, which is really not lost, then it really wasn't ours. We created that, we can create something else. That is one of my new mantras. If I created that, I can create something else. If I created that, I can create something else. If I manifested that, I can manifest something else. I sure can. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because it's once we release that kind of energy, it's not to say that we have to be flighty. I'm not saying that we need to be flighty necessarily, but we determine it, not somebody else. It can just be a mindset, because when we release a mindset, it frees our energy. It's a trip how this goes. It frees our energy and how we approach a thing. Case in point, when we don't feel desperate in situations, we act different. We ain't kissing ass. We ain't doing extra. I'm just keeping it 100. We just don't. I've watched myself be different in different situations when my energy was different versus in another energy I held. When I was in my freer energy, I was just regular. I was relaxed. I was still kind. I was still nice. I still did whatever I felt duty called, but it wasn't an energy of extra because I wasn't desperate. It was going to be either I'm here on my merit or I don't need to be here. I'm not kissing ass. Okay. That may be your belief system of how shit go, but it ain't mine. It's almost like when we release these energies, then things align easily. We don't feel like we have to try so freaking hard because people recognize that you know who you are and that you know your worth, you know your value, you know that, honey, look, Thank you. I'm appreciative. I know I have to, you know what I'm saying? But this ain't the end of time. This ain't it for the sister. You know what I'm saying? Or the brother. Okay. And it's a mindset. It is a belief system. Like it don't end with you, my friend. It don't end with this here situation or this here scenario. It don't end here, honey. And the moment this gets not fulfilling enough, the moment I get my energy where I need it to be and align and realize that this is for the birth, then right? And I say that because you got too much majors backing you. Too many majors arcanas on the deck backing you. There's been major death and transformation and birth and rebirth and towers and oh my gosh, overcoming addiction, even overcoming codependency, overcoming emotions, like I just said, being pulled in your emotions. People been able to do that. Oh, that's a good one. People ain't for some of y'all, people ain't gonna be able to do that no more. They was banking, they was banking on that heart. Some people were banking on that for some of y'all. They know that some of you have extremely big heart chakras, but in the wounded heart chakra, it can get out of balance and taken advantage of. And so some people are about to be surprised by some of you because you're going to make a head over heart decision. You're going to be in that King of Swords energy or that Queen of Swords energy where it's like non-emotion. And it's not that you don't feel, it's just that you understand that there is a time and there's a place for that. Because sometimes people are operating in a place in their lives to where if they know that they can trigger emotion response to get something, they will. And you guys are learning that. Like, oh, okay, it's okay. Yeah, I'm not going down that. We ain't gonna start singing no songs. We ain't, you know what I'm saying? Some of y'all like, no, I see through it. You know, you're like, no, because you can sense and feel if it's not right. Because many of you are about honoring truth. You want healthy. And you're seeing through it like, okay, I'm not going to be pulled by my emotion all over the place for other people's advantage. All right. Whew, I talked a long time tonight. It's time for me to get going. Whew, I got to get ready. Yeah, I got to get ready for work tomorrow. Anyway, I know this was very, very long. And I highly recommend, those of you who, if this resonates, come back on, kind of skim through it, jump through it to get to places where you think there's something for you that may resonate, that you may find helpful for you. And if any of this resonates with you at all, if you like any of my readings and what I do and share, please do like and share and subscribe, and then click the notification bell. This so you'll be notified. And then this also helps YouTube to know and generates my videos so more people like yourself could be getting exposed to the videos and have access to this information. And I also want to give shout outs and thank yous once again to all new subscribers. Those of you who've been coming on, thank you. I appreciate you. Also, to those of you who have donated to Bloom from Within Love, every dollar count. Every one of you who donated to the PayPal account for Bloom, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for allowing me to share my journey and to be a part of yours, and hopefully assist you in some way that is beneficial for you. And if you have any questions, if you would like either personal private reading or any other services that I provide, um, which includes Reiki, now that I'm a Reiki master, light language, if you're into that as well. If you want a specialized aura spray, if you would like to get the ionic foot detox done. Oh my gosh, I got so much stuff going on, but just let me know. All right, comment on one of these videos. You guys can contact me at my email, which is brandyhllwy@gmail, and we can go from there in terms of setting something up, okay? All right. Well, I wish you all well in this 2021. I sent you guys love and light. I set these candles with intention specifically for you all. So they're not just decorations, okay? One of them is designed and infused with love, and then we have one for abundance. Then we have one for grounding and comfort and all of that. And so that is my heart's desire for all of you, that you find that you align with that with ease and grace and ebb and flow. Yes, it's time. It's time for us to rise. Everything is energy. Balance is key. Love yourself. Set that intent, because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, people come and go, seasons change. At the end of the day, the one thing that is certain is that we are with ourselves. Think about that. Sending you guys love and light. Namaste.